Hello everyone, and this is SeReNiiTYzZ here, back with another awesome Fortnite Battle Royale video for you guys today. And this time today guys, my first solo win of Season 8, and the SGT Green Clover entities has come to play. But really excited to give you this game today guys. Obviously I've got my exams coming up in May, so I haven't really been playing in Season 8 at all, but I thought I had to get out this gameplay today. It's a big milestone because it's my 100th solo win as well, so very exciting times for that, to be achieving that in Season 8. I've been playing since Season 2, so I was really happy to get this win today. And like I said, I've barely been playing at all, so you know, for me to sort of come in and win a game on these, you know, the sort of with everything that's been added to the game since I've last played, I was pretty happy to do so. And a really decent game to boot against decent competition throughout the game. And I hope you guys really enjoy this, because it was I just thought I had to get it out to show a little something in Season 8, even though that I'm pretty pressed for time at the moment and can't really play as much as I would like. But definitely some exciting things to come back to when I do finish my exams in May. So many awesome skins to try out, and a lot of great stuff to come, I'm sure. But definitely in play today, I was really excited to be playing. And yeah, just starting things off at Paradise Palms. I do apologise, I've got a bit of the man flu as well, like a bit of a bad throat at the moment, but I thought I had to get out this commentary. And to start things off guys, like I said, going to Paradise Palms to start proceedings, and yeah, just very excited to pick up the SGT Green Clover as well. It came back on the 17th of March for St. Paddy's Day, and really like this skin and just didn't get it last year for whatever reason. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoy this awesome game. It's really good stuff throughout, and I was really pleased with this win, considering, because I haven't really been playing a lot recently, and like I said, against some decent competition. Big milestone win for me, being the 100th solo win as well. And yeah, just to see how Fortnite has changed since I was sort of playing it more regularly in Season 7 with my friends, and you know, getting up a lot of royales. But definitely one thing I have noticed, that it is a lot harder to, you know, players are obviously improving all the time in Fortnite Battle Royale now, and the standards are getting so much higher. Definitely that, you know, sort of getting high kill wins and getting decent kill gameplays like this one. You know, obviously it's not to the level of like pros getting, you know, 20 kills plus, but you know, still a decent game for my standards. But all I was going to say was that it's a lot harder now to get these kind of wins anyway. Even this kind of win that I got myself today. Really, people are a lot better at the game now, and there's a lot more to Fortnite Battle Royale, I think, as a result. One thing I am happy about with kind of reason I stopped playing a little bit as well was because I didn't like the health factor when you kill a player, getting your health back or all this sort of stuff. And I know that some people are really calling for that back, and the way it was before with like 500 material cap. I'm actually happy, to be honest with you, that Epic went back to the old ways, because I think that's the game. That's how the game should be played. I do agree with Tfue, who a lot of people are slating his opinion, but I mean, as he would say, like, he's a guy who's played a load of you know, sort of battle royale games, and I do think in the element where I think the game is better from those settings is because what I did find is that when I first started playing Fortnite Battle Royale, part of the fun element to it is that you have to survive, make do with what loot that you get from your opponent once you kill them. And I just thought to myself, you know, why should I get health pack every time I kill someone? I mean, there's an incentive to kill more people as a result and stuff, but it just seems a bit cheap to me. And I do think that it should be more about, you have to make do with what you find. And definitely at this point here, there's some nice find for me to find some heals as I get another player coming over to me. But I had to make do there in that fight after I killed that first guy of whatever was around me. Nothing that I didn't get a sort of health injection from just, you know, killing that first player. And at this point here, just trying to keep the height. Something that I'm starting to do now, and something that I want to do more when I come back, is obviously not giving up my high ground. And I'm trying to get into the habit now as well of placing a flat piece as I'm dropping when I'm shotgunning a person, because you know, the amount of times that you can die silly if you just go to meet that guy in combat, and you know, I was really happy that I played like that, and you know, decided to keep my high ground, and then, you know, can edit out pieces, and that's definitely something that I think I'd like to improve my aspect to my gameplay, just my sort of building skills with regards to editing in combat. So it's definitely something I'm going to look at when I come back, because I think it would add dimensions to my gameplay. But I do agree with Tfue, and Tfue is a guy, obviously one of the biggest players in Fortnite Battle Royale. I have to say, I know the guy's a bit of a bit of a character, but I do agree with his opinions for the most part, and I like the way he plays, because he does have the aggression but the builds to back it up, and I do agree with him in the sense that, you know, I think you should sort of make do with whatever your opponent had once you've killed them, and I think it adds more skill to the gameplay personally. So I'm happy that Epic, in short, I'm happy that Epic went back to, you know, kind of, you make do with what you have on your opponent's body, which I think is much better. So I'm happy with what they've made the changes there, and it's definitely made me feel like coming back, because I do think the health injection is just, it's a bit too easy, you know, because you can just keep, like, you know, slaying people and just, you know, keep getting the health back, and I don't know, I'm not sure how, you know, I think I've been playing since Season 2 and it's all been like that, so I'm just happy that Epic went back, and yeah, definitely some exciting things to come, and if people are that good anyway, they're going to survive anyway on the same settings regardless, so for me, I'm happy with the change. And definitely excited with this gameplay, guys. I did really well in the initial couple of fights that I've had, and this gameplay as well, part of the reason I really wanted to get a win for Season 8, even though this is in my busy period, and I'm more than happy because my 100th solo win is because look at all this stuff that's you know, sort of been brought to us, the pirate camps, the volcano, a cannon right here. I was like, I want to get all these things in, a buried treasure as well, no less. I wanted to kind of get that for the channel as well, because obviously I've not really played at all in Season 8, and not played with my friends just because I haven't had the time, and you know, I'm very busy at the moment, but like I said, I always try to get, you know, one good gameplay for the season. I think this will be it for me, because I won't be able to improve on this before the sort of end of May, which is when Season 8 ends. But I did want to get a gameplay that, you know, I could look back on and think, you know, that was a great game, and yeah, I definitely like this one, and like I say, I always try to use the features of that particular season, because you know, coming to a certain point in the summer, I'd like to make a Fortnite montage for myself, based on all the early memories I had up until that point then when I make the thing. So that's part of the reason I like to sort of comment back on the times that it was, or, you know, good time of playing when I did play, and so that's part of the reason I will try to always use all the features of that particular season, so that we can get that all for the montage that I'm, you know, looking to make. And I hope you guys are excited for that, anyone that does watch my channel, but certainly I'm excited to make that, because this game has been such a pleasant, you know, such a brilliant gaming experience for me. It was my Manjaro bro SeReNiiTYzZ that got me into it, and I owe him a lot, because it's been one of my happiest gaming experiences with him and Harry, obviously with Sunny and my other friends as well, and Robbie and Gangsters a bit later on, from sort of end of Season 6 to currently now. Enjoyed playing with them a lot. It's been fantastic, and all the other lads I've played with, like Sabata and everyone else, it's just been fantastic. So, you know, I've really had a lot of happy memories on the game, and that wouldn't have been possible without my awesome friends. And like I say, I'm very excited for doing that video, because there's just been some really, really good moments for me, and yeah, like I said, I just wanted to get something good for Season 8, and my competition was very strong at the end, and I'm going to give that guy a big shout out when I play him, when you see the final 1v1, because it's against a really good player. But definitely, like I was saying, guys, you know, every single player, I mean, this guy, I sort of gave him the sauce after he killed that guy that he killed, but every single player really more determined to stay alive now. As a result, it's harder to get higher kill gameplays, and definitely, like I say, your average Joe is, you know, more or not like a decent enough player. Probably going to see that more at the end. But just generally as well, with things like the hamster ball as well, it's harder to kill people now, in terms of, you know, like actually nailing them, because they're in a ball that has like 800 health. The only thing I would say about Fortnite where I don't like where it's headed over the time is, I I really don't like the vehicular stuff in Fortnite. I'm glad they removed the planes, but you know, then a hamster ball comes into its position in terms of, you know, an indestructible object or something that has, you know, a decent amount of health and does take a few shots from the Scar to destroy. You know, just generally, again, I think that, you know, Epic are always adding something like that to the game, and you know, deployable gliders in any form, item or not, you know, that's something that I don't like as well, but it's part of the game now, so I'm going to use it. It's advantageous for you to have it, and I think definitely for those higher kill games, and particularly at the end when players are good at the building aspect, you need to be able to have those gliders so that you can just, you know, not, you know, give two hoots about building as high as you want. So I mean, you know, all these things considered, I think you have to work for them as best as you can, but the game has definitely changed since, you know, I started playing with Matt in Season 2, where, you know, it was those days I really missed that Fortnite, because me, that was classic Fortnite, that was the best Fortnite. The game just seemed so much more, you know, intense back then and enjoyable, because, you know, people weren't as good at building aspect and everything like that. But you know, times have changed, and that's what we've got now. And definitely, you know, but like I say, I really enjoyed this solo game today, guys, and I hope you enjoy it too. And I'm starting to move in with a bit more pressure onto another player right here, as I'm about to put some hurt on this guy. I think he's just cleared up the player that he was fighting, and really nice place from me in this gameplay to actually then find a person moving on to the zone like next person. I definitely had good success from that in this gameplay, sort of being in the right place at the right time. See you, mate, and give me the loot, keep the loot there for me. And this was the time of the game where the bow has just been put in. I did use it a little bit on this night of games. I didn't choose it for this game because I just felt more comfortable with the awesome weaponry at my disposal. At this point here, just using the launch pad to get in comfortably to the new zone right here, guys. So as you can see here, guys, Sergeant Green Clover entities surveying her kingdom and looking to get into the final realms of her kingdom. But she is not without competition, and if you guys have been watching the feed, you would have seen a certain name keep appearing in the feed, which was YouTube Tiswan, who was a really good player in this game. And actually at the end of the game, I watched it back in theatre mode, because I really like games where I play against a really good player at the end in the final fight. This guy had 12, or I think it was 12 or 13 kills. His name throughout the match, if you watch this video, appears frequently, and he was a good player, and you should definitely check out his channel. He's got some good things on there on his YouTube. So if you search for Tiswan, the second part of his name obviously is YouTube Tiswan. He's an Xbox player from France. I checked out he's got a Twitch stream as well. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, he was a good player, and I saw his name appearing in the feed a bunch, and I was like, okay, that guy is going to be, I'm assuming he's going to be good, getting all those kills. And at this point here, it's going to be a final circle around the areas of sort of shift shafts and just sort of north of this area that Sonny and I used to come to, actually, from the sort of disco area, the town sort of north. You can see Polar Peak here, and you can hear a couple of guys fighting up here. It's all going off, and I thought to myself, you know, with all the launch pad and, you know, deployable gliders at my disposal, these guys are in a full-out fight over here, and I thought, let's make this solo gameplay interesting. So I went up there and was deciding that I'm just going to finish off the winner of this fight. At this point here, I see in the feed that one of them's killed. I can see the guy looting at the bomb, so trying to be smart here, I try to shoot him in the little toenails, but unfortunately it doesn't sort of pay off for me, and the guy keeps rebuilding, so he's obviously aware that I'm onto him now. But I keep thinking, you know, he must be in a weakened state because he's so, you know, continuously to build there. So I try to add the pressure. I know that I can leave whenever I want, but he has to escape somehow. At this point, he sets up his launch pad, tries to get on there. I get a couple of shots on him. He does get away, but Sergeant Green Clover Entities finishes him off in the sky with precise shots there. And do feel a bit sorry for that guy. The amount of times that, you know, you can die like that with equipment, you're just trying to get it on. Damn it, man, work, get my launch pad, get me out of here. And maybe could have gone for his loot even. You know, obviously I didn't see where it sprawled over because I killed him mid-air, but at this point here I didn't need to use my pad. I could have just used my deployable gliders, but I didn't, you know, brain didn't think that at the time of the game. And at this point here I spot this guy, you know, shooting all the metal balls, which is a good policy from him, but I'm sorry mate, you're going to have to go back to the lobby. I don't want you here in my kingdom. I only tolerate really good players and, you know, like to beat them at the end of games. And, yeah, a bit of an awareness, all out in the open with his pants down there, so it's an easy kill. Right here I saw the two metal balls. Where is this commentary going? Sorry. The two metal balls, hamster balls in the middle of the park, so in the middle of the playground. So I was just thinking, like, you know, I don't know what I want to do with that really, so I just thought I'm just going to build a little 1x1 three tiers up, 3 floors up, and just assess things. And at this point here, I have had some, you know, deaths on occasions where someone had a higher elevation than me from behind me in the new zone. So I was just checking here that there was no one actually behind me, because sometimes you set these bases up and someone snipes you from the hill above. So just got to be a little bit careful of that. And I didn't intend to use this base for a long time. I just wanted to have a look at things. Obviously, I see this guy. I think he's using that new bow against me on my structure. I get some really nice shots onto him for white damage here, so I know he's weak. And part of me at this point actually really wanted to aggressively kill him further, and maybe I should have actually moved over to try and shoot him before he got back in his metal ball, because that could have netted me another kill. And like I say on SeReNiiTYzZ here, guys, I always try to make the gameplay as exciting as I can, obviously, because I'm trying to beat my you know, personal best in kills. So whenever I do try to play, and where I think, you know, I can take my game to the next level and try for you know, kill games like around 15 or something like that, because that would be a new highest for me. Well, 12 would actually be a new highest for me, because my max is 11, which isn't really that high for you know, perhaps a player of my that you know, has played as long as I have. And you know, I do have a fairly good skill set on the game with my awareness and stuff, but I think to take my game to that next level, it has to be the building and the sort of editing styles, you know, in terms of doing smart plays through combat and building, which is something that I'm going to work on. And something that my opponent in the end, YouTube Tiswan, doesn't have a problem with. He's really good at the building aspect of the game. I've checked out his clips and you know, the way he plays on his Twitch, and you know, definitely a really good player. I did well to beat him in this gameplay today, actually, but you'll see how I managed it in the end. But yeah, definitely that's the aspect of my game that I'm looking to improve on. But nevertheless, you know, still some aspects of my game are still really good, like you know, so my shooting. I think my awareness is something that I'm good at in this gameplay, and you know, smarts onto what players might do. Just need to sort of get that building, you know, capability to match that with all these other players coming across from you know, cross platforms that are very good as well. I have noticed that people are a lot better in Season 8 than they were in Season 7, and I'm never sure, you know, how the cross platform works. Whether I'm against PC players or not, I'm not entirely sure, or PlayStation players. I would assume it's PC, because the symbol that comes up next to their names is the same one that I used to see with some of my mates that played on PC, you know, before this update came in. So but hey, that's the way it is now. So if you want to play Fortnite, you kind of have to accept it. Unfortunately, there's no way to avoid cross-platform. You can in solo. You can try to block people out from Xbox Live, but you never get a game, and it's just kind of pointless. If you do, there's going to be like maybe 20-30 people in there, so cross-platform is a thing, unfortunately. But you know, that's the way it is. I would just prefer to play with people on Xbox, but Tiswan, this gameplay, YouTube Tiswan, was a very you know, good Xbox player. I wouldn't have actually thought from the way he builds, seeing the clips from the thing, that he was an Xbox player, but shows it is possible to build that good on Xbox. And at this point here, just managed to hear that guy that was really close to me. I was lucky that I did, because honestly, he had that, I think he had that bow, and luckily for me, he didn't hit anything with it. And at this point here, I know that the final bit of competition I have is a guy over here. The other guy gets lost in the storm, so I know it's just me against this other fella now, which is YouTube Tiswan, the guy I've been telling you about, guys. The really good player from France. And you can see from my builds here, I'll be honest with you, I haven't played for a while, guys. Honestly, that was not very good building. And I didn't really look where I was headed, like right into a tree. The storm's coming in. Should have been a bit quicker there on the builds, and you know, I'm not very the 90s were all out of whack there. That was very poor. But definitely something you have to excuse me, guys. I haven't played for a while, you know, and you know, not been that well recently, so give me a break. But at this point here, really nice launch pad. I watched this game back from the theatre mode and what Tiswan did to the things I did, and he was literally about to rocket me overhead, so I think that was pretty good timing on my part. Here should have used the campfire, for whatever reason I didn't at the time of the gameplay. Should have just put it down. I think I had a spare as well, so as I can see on the preview screen. And at this point here, Tiswan's got the right idea, making a smoking little house for himself over there, so trying to put the pressure on. At this point I was like, no, I'm allowing him too much time here. It's what I was thinking to myself at the time of the gameplay. Got my double gliders so I can go down there and finish the job. And at this point here, I'm trying to go to a smoking house. There can only be one of us in this new kingdom, Tiswan. I can't have you, even with your building capabilities being that much better than me at the moment. I was like, no, bro, I've got to get this win. I've played pretty well in this game, and I want to win. I haven't had one for Season 8 for a solo win. This is my 100th solo win, and what a way to finish it, guys. A straight up, more or less aimbot headshot. I'm not sure how I managed that, to be honest. And the gold pump right onto his head, 198 damage, giving him the little Irish jig there. So good game, Tiswan. It was good to play you, mate. Like I said, guys, you know, Tiswan's got the, if you check out his channel, he's got the skills in the building aspect. He had like 12 kills. If he killed me, he would have got 13 kill gameplay. But I stopped him and got SeReNiiTYzZ for 8 kills, and this was my 100th solo win, guys. And it was great to, you know, finish off on a very, you know, good player, to finish off the game and comfortably. And yeah, decent game. Didn't take too much damage in the end, actually. Only 40 odd damage somehow. So I played pretty well in all things considered, and was able to. But sometimes, like I said, guys, you know, in Fortnite Battle Royale, if you hit that one good shot against a really good player, which Tiswan is, it can make the difference. Honestly, if you hit a shot like that, there's just no coming back from it in Fortnite Battle Royale. And I knew he was healing, so he was a little bit weak from the previous fights that he was doing. And yeah, just took my chances, and fantastic headshot. That was just an auto reaction type thing, and really hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. This was SeReNiiTYzZ with an 8 kills for Season 8. There we go. My only vid for Season 8 probably. I will see you guys in May, back with more Fortnite content then. I will see you guys. Thanks for watching.